go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And some room to run now. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. 52 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Let's face it, everybody at the start of a game has a mental image of how they expected to go. And I think that was going exactly as they scripted it offensively. Moving the ball well, seemingly in control. And that fumble, that's got to be a little bit deflating, don't you think?
Foiled the whole plan there. Turned the ball over. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Winston. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to it. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Saints at a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. This defense for the Saints, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
On 2nd and a couple, Rodgers completed out left to Dobbs. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Completes it again to Dobbs. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Alan Lazard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Packers 7, Saints nothing. Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. A short kick. Taylor Hill's hit, and he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Shoves him away, and they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 77 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Now Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. On for the point after, Corey Vedvik. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
Packers 14, Saints nothing. Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception. And now look at this, big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. CD, that's the second time this half they've put it on the carpet. Now, the first one they lost. Good news here, doesn't cost them.
They do say that things even out in the course of a ball game. So you mentioned they lost the first one. This time, able to retain possession, but they can't get into this habit. The ball can't continue to go on the ground.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. From the red zone now, Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, and what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They just do get the play off. Now Winston. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
On 3rd down, Winston.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't roll it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And they work this out past the 25. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Rodgers now on first down.
Batted by the safety, but caught anyway.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards, the final tally.
Sometimes those tip balls turn out to be like a pinball. Just bounce all over the place. Everyone's got to go up and get it. In this case...
Well, we talk about tip drills for defensive players like you, but what about the offensive guys? They do any tip drills?
I think they work on it as well, oftentimes in the Hail Mary situations, because you're actually counting on a ball being tipped to give you an extra chance to catch it. They use that training well.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now Rodgers.
The throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that is incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away.
Deontay Hardy back deep.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 21-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Winston. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're acting panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again with Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he's got room.
He's got room at the 30.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's a gain of 35.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Throw left side complete to Troutman. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston. And this one's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Jameis to throw it. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
A 32-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Well, here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 14-3 advantage already, we'll see how much they want to try to push things, if at all. Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Rodgers going to throw. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. A big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3.
A short kick taken at the 18. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
When the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. On 2nd and 9, Winston. Smith brings it in, going across the middle. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
A gain of 9 yards. That's good for the Saints.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
He is going to find Hill here. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense. And guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Winston now. He's got Smith here. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Slot man moves right. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Yeah, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Here's Thomas. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a first and 10 at their own 18. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones.
Up to the 20.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
88 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
A first down run here by Jones as he'll take it forward for a gain of about 4.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Hey, check 26. Number 50. Hey, you block over here.
From the 36, Rodgers. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. He got 29 yards that time.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Glad to be in the great city of New Orleans. Rolling along here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10.
They go back to the ground with Jones.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
19-yard line. A gain of 16 yards. First down.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Packers 17. Saints 3.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
30. 26.
Back to the air on second down. It's Rodgers. And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Packers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this fourth quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
24. Saints 3. Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Fields this way up at the 17. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35.
First down 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one.
Room here to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "What was that all game?" Or maybe just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
18 more yards there and another first down.
Probably wishing that they could have had a few runs like that earlier in the game, now facing this deficit in the fourth.
Hard to criticize a run of that magnitude, but they really need those types of runs to go the distance and need bigger plays to try and get back into this one.
Off the play fake, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. To throw is Winston. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Packers' D comes up with a big stop. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Again, it's Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 118 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
But normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game. And trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Box it. On the 50. Yeah, 300.
On 2nd and 9. Rodgers. Out route. He finds his man. It's Jones. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
88. Back home.
Throwing is Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
And his kick is absolutely perfect.
That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
A short kick taken at the 18. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. On a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Second down, and it's Kamara again.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. From the shotgun, it's Winston.
That's complete to Troutman right side. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, New Orleans.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Winston to throw for it. He's got it. So they convert the two. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got plenty to catch.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
On second down, it's Jones. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Saints' 32-yard line.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got some